Welcome to the channel. Let's do an after action report of the Ironwill Wide 150 grain versus a whitetail. Here we go. Picked myself up a little bit. Thanks to all you folks that reached out and encouraged me to stay on my grind. I went back out to that public land. Got myself a whitetail on public land, and this is the arrow that I used. Didn't have a ton of blood on it, but still sharp shaven hair on my arm. So this arrow is 474 grains. This is an Ironwill Wide single bevel to the left, 150 grain with the Easton titanium 4mm half out that weighs 55 grains with the Easton Axis 4mm match grade long range with this ElkShape wrap, which good news, we are gonna offer these on the website coming soon. I'm working with Ord Archery on that. AAE hybrid HP veins that weigh 17 grains total. That's all three. Wrap weighs 8 grains, and this wrap is specific to this arrow, which is kind of cool. We're gonna offer to the specific spine and arrow that you select. That way that you wrap exactly just what you need, no overlap, and that it weighs the least amount. So only 8 grains in the wrap. AAE IP4 knock. I shot this buck. I didn't film it. I know a lot of you out there can relate to the public land, which is why that's what I grew up doing. I just didn't want to film, so I didn't. But I am gonna give you an after action report because I did promise to do that, so here we go. So the shot was a 21-yard shot. I shot it off the ground in a ground blind, so I think the arrow was still kind of rising when it made contact. I aimed for a little bit off the shoulder. It was slightly quartering away. I wanted to hug the shoulder, but I actually felt like the shot was a little bit away from the shoulder. Shot the deer with probably 30 minutes of daylight left. So it was nice to see a deer in really good light and made a good shot. And then I went out and got the arrow, and I didn't see a bunch of blood on the veins, but this arrow was buried into the ground quite a bit. And I pulled it out of the ground, and I didn't see like bright red blood, some meat, and I was like, ugh. So I just played it safe, went back in the blind, waited for an hour, which was painstaking. You guys all know if you have to wait for an hour, it sucks, but I just wanted to be sure. And then the blood trail was mediocre because it was snowing. It kind of covered up some of the blood, but I did see enough blood, and the lighting on the video is terrible. It's hard to see what I'm seeing, but there was good enough blood where I could walk pretty fast, and I found that deer about 58, 59 yards away from the shot, so it didn't go very far. Blood. Blood. Couldn't have gone far. There he is. All right, guys, we're tagged out in Washington, public land, mountain buck, whitetail, freaking awesome. Double long, back of the lungs. We will go ahead and show you guys right now kind of where an autopsy, did I hit ribs, did I not, what I went through, where to aim on deer. Let's get into the after action report. Guys, what's up? We're here with Tyler, who runs the ElkShape Gear channel, and he's a paramedic, and I'm gonna have him talk about after action report on the Ironwill now that we got the hide off.
Exit hole.
Did he probably didn't hit any ribs?
Or not H, but X looking cut with the bleeders. And then on this side is the entrance.
It's not as profound.
Not as profound, but in an X shape. And it didn't look like you hit any ribs on that side either. Didn't really hit ribs, but through and through, low, long. Normally you want to hit somewhere right in here is your goal. A lot of times you aim a little low on deer because they're going to drop. Generally they're going to drop when you shoot from the spring noise. So if you're aiming here, they don't drop, you still get low heart and lungs. If you hit here, it's heart, double lung. They don't go very far. If you think about this is basically center of their lung cavity, which is here. So this is back on the lungs, but still double lungs. And then their lungs tend to go right in here. So it's back of the lungs, still good. And that's also why you aim here, because if you end up a little forward, it's still long area, but that's right center of the boiler room.
The strengths, the pros with this is that it is wide, so it is going to make a big hole or slit for more blood to leave the container, and it still has that Ironwill design engineering for, in my opinion, some of the greatest penetration out of all. Broadhead's best materials, heat treatment, made in the USA, engineered by Bill from Ironwill, who is a mechanical engineer. And I think it's a great design. The bleeders are a must, and even though most of the animals I've killed with single bells don't bleed much, they sure seem to die fast. So I do think this is a great option for elk especially. In my previous video with the whitetail, with the build on this, I compared the standard versus the wide. I think the wide is going to be a better option. I have hit bullseyes at 80 yards with this. That's the furthest I've shot this arrow is 80 yards, and absolutely smoked bullseyes with this without any planing. So if you're doing a good job, doing a good tune, have the right spine, your setup's dope, I think you can get out there some good distance. I think this would be probably a good option for me for elk next year, and I'm gonna keep kind of running with it and seeing what I think about it before next year, and that's down the road as well. I've used Ironwills on a few bulls and had some good success. I've also really liked the Grim Reaper Micro Hades 3-blade. I like the Grim Reaper Micro Hades 4-blade because that thing definitely opens a big hole, but I do like the Sever quite a bit. I've used that, and this is that standard. All in all, this is a great arrow. It's a little on the heavy side for me, 474 at my draw length. It's 27 inches. I shot the buck with lift at 75-pound mods at 80% let off. I used the UV slider with the vertical pin configuration that is not out yet, and you guys need to hound them and tell them you need to make this an option. Another good option is that Dark Owl scope. That's a really good one to put on the UV slider as well. This is the after action report. Comment below if you have any questions that we can maybe do a follow-up video. We'll just always try and include you guys on our journey. And then as the off season approaches, please consider doing some small game hunting, rabbits, but small game hunting will really help your practice and get some reps in the red zone. Join a winter league, shoot some indoor, get a number and a score on paper, shoot dots so that you can measure and manage your score, and just do whatever you need to do that you are continually working, improving, so that when you finally are out in the field, you're a predator, you're confident in your equipment, and you're ready to go.
So depending on your taxidermist, you're gonna go straight down the spine up to the back of his head. I always do from here, do a Y, one to this pedestal, one to this pedestal. You may talk to your taxidermist beforehand. Some of them like to go from here to one pedestal and then straight across. The guys I've talked to said either way. I find it's easier just to go straight, do the Y at the top of the head. Then around the pedestals, you want to get as much of the hide up underneath. So I usually start at the skull plate and go up underneath the pedestals like this, and then work your way all the way around. Once I get the nose peeled back as far as I can, then I go back and finish caping out to the nose from the eyes down.
This is Tyler Denham, one of my best friends in the entire world. He helps me, he pretty much runs the ElkShape Gear channel. The cool thing about Tyler is we both grew up pretty poor.
Yes.
So we both know about how budget-friendly items as well as high-end items and things in between. So we cover a gamut of gear and try to help you guys make informed decisions to have like more successful hunts. So subscribe to this channel if you're into gear. Very unbiased, very biased, but really genuine guys who want you to have more success and help you. So check out this channel too. Catch you on the next one.